OpenAI FTW, what a week! They bought Windsurf, they released a new tool called Codex, which is probably going to change how we work as software engineers forever. They released a mini model that powers Codex, which we can now use directly in our terminal. On top of that, Windsurf, which is now under the OpenAI umbrella, as we all know, released a suite of new software engineering models that apparently can compete with Claude Sonnet 3.5. Just craziness all around. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what these models are, how we can use them, or if we can use them at all right now, and how much roughly do they actually cost. So what is Codex? Well, according to OpenAI, it's a cloud-based software engineering agent that can work on many tasks in parallel, powered by Codex-1, the newly released model, available to ChatGPT Pro, Team, Enterprise users today, and Plus coming soon. So yeah, unless you are not a peasant and are filthy rich, you can use this feature today. Unfortunately, I am neither, so I'm not going to be using it, but the mini model is available to use in the CLI tool, which I'll be going over that in the next section. And it's actually really good, but the pricing, geez, I will have to talk about that in a bit too. Anyway, basically, if you haven't watched the demo video already on YouTube, it's something along the lines of, imagine if you're a taskmaster. And this tool is basically you're able to assign tasks to your minions, and your minions will go and do their task without even bothering you. And at the end of it, they'll submit a pull request and you'll just review it. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, this is something I've been waiting for at some point, but I didn't think it would be this soon. Maybe you've came across this before, because I always end up doing this. Basically, I would be working on something and then I'll run into a problem and I'll look further into a problem like, oh dang, if only I have the time to refactor this thing, this would be so much easier. That is what I feel like this is literally perfect for, because what I normally would do, I would just put that on my task list and it will never get done. But now I can be like, okay, well, I can't refactor it now, or probably I won't be able to ever refactor it because it would take so much time. I'll just give it to the AI and then the AI can just go do your thing. And I'm just going to focus on making this feature work like right now. And then you can come back and then I will merge your pull request and then make sure everything works. That is literally the dream. So what model is this powered by? It's powered by the Codex-1, a version of OpenAI's O3 optimized for software engineering. Apparently, according to the internal benchmark, has a 5% higher accuracy score than O3 High. The fact that it's compared to O3 High makes me think it is going to be expensive. Well, according to OpenAI, it's apparently free right now. Well, only to Pro and Enterprise and Team users. Yeah, that's not really free, is it? That's the Pro tier is $200, and yeah, and you say users will have generous access at no additional cost in the coming weeks. So you're saying that there's going to be additional costs on top of that $200 that people are paying for the Pro subscription? Wow, that's a new one. After which, we'll roll out a rate-limited access and flexible pricing options that will let you purchase additional usage on demand. Oh man, I can't wait to see how much they price this. I can't wait. You're probably wondering, how can I use some of this power, this juice? I would just want to squeeze this juice. Well, lucky for you, they actually released a smaller version of Codex-1. It's a version of O4 Mini designed specifically for the Codex CLI. This new model supports faster workflows in the CLI and is optimized for low latency code, question and answering, and editing. It's available now as the default model in Codex CLI and in the API as codex-mini latest. So my favorite way of using this model is actually through the Codex CLI. If you don't know what the Codex CLI is, I highly recommend you check it. Go to github.com/openai/codex. It's basically a lightweight coding agent that runs in your terminal, as they say it here. Think of it as like your coworker in the terminal. It's literally the same as Windsurf's Cascade or Cursor agent. It's more of a autonomous tool that you just let it go off on and do its thing on its own before you merge the changes that it's done over in your project. And you may have heard of Claude Code. This is literally the competitor to Claude Code. The reason why I prefer Codex CLI is because you can actually specify different model providers. Like you can actually use DeepSeek, you can even use Ollama, which is really awesome. Haven't tested the performance of this with different other models, but I did test codex-mini latest. And let me tell you, it is not cheap. I mean, I only used it to do one thing today. I had it refactor a small piece of code. I had a Zustan store in my project that contained all the states in my application, and I wanted it to break into multiple stores. So I asked it to do that. It did it, and it used up 97 requests, and it cost me $4.26. I don't know how I feel about using $4 every prompt. And not only that, it didn't get it 100% right, even though the task was quite easy. If I remember correctly, it took about 10 minutes to complete the task. So yeah, I'm definitely curious if you've tried it before and what your results are. Let me know down below in the comments. Moving on to Windsurf, they recently released a new family of software engineering frontier models. These are now available, and whether you have access to these will depend whether you're free or paid users. For example, Sui1, which is used in Cascade, that's only going to be available for paid users. Sui1 Lite, which basically replaces the Cascade base model, will be available for both free and paid users. And this is the same for Sui1 Mini, which powers the Windsurf tab feature. Now they did provide some benchmarks. I'm never a huge fan of these benchmarks because you really got to test these models out for yourself to actually understand like the feel of them. Oh man, I can't believe I'm talking about these feeling. So weird when it comes to models. Anyway, they have two benchmarks. One is conversational software engineering task benchmark, and the other one is end-to-end. The conversational one is basically a human in the loop while the agentic coding is happening. In this benchmark, it's performing pretty close to Claude Sonnet 3.5, while the end-to-end task, which is fully agentic, the Sui model is performing pretty much the same as Claude Sonnet 3.7. One thing to note is that the Sui one is free for only a limited time, plus it does not have a thinking version. Not sure why that is. Anyway, I'll be testing out these models in the coming weeks and see how they compare to Sonnet 3.7. So let me know if you're interested about a comparison between the two of them. Leave the comment down below in the description. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.